next topic today. This one is stress. Everybody asks me how I handle stress. Well, not very well. To be honest, I don't handle stress very well at all. But I tend to be able to evaluate situations pretty quick. I think that's the key of handling stress. You know, the WKO is a big organization, but for me it's not stressful because it's all based on martial arts, which is the way I grew up, so I can handle that. Business is a different story, but I base my business on martial arts, so everything needs to adapt in order to overcome, and sometimes in business you've got to adapt in a split second. So that's the key for me to handling stress, is having the ability to adapt and overcome. And you need good people around you when you handle stress, because if people support you, stress, it doesn't matter what the situation is, stress can be balanced, it can be controllable. Now, over the years I've realized that most of the things that create stress are very short term. For instance, let's say you have money problems. Today you have a money problem. The stress level, because you've got to pay bills and you've got everything is going through the roof and you're panicking and you don't know what to do. But the next day you might win the lotto and the money problems are gone. So the stress was only for that period of time, a short period of time. And you can all look back, if you all look back at how your life was and the stressful moments that you've had, just think about it. They're not stressful anymore. They were at that time stressful. However, today they're no longer stressful. So when people say, oh, time heals, I think that's what they mean. Excuse me, I've just got to pick a card up going through the motorway. Thank you. Yeah, so stress is healed by time. And sometimes I get loaded up really, really heavy with it. And I sit back and I think, okay, how am I going to get out of this one? I'm in the shit on this one. And then I always tend to just go home, climb into bed, go to sleep, wake up the next morning, and the stress levels dropped a bit. A day's passed, I tend to have been able to evaluate the situation, get hold of people or whatever I need to do to help with the situation. But the main thing is, when it comes to stress, is you must have the ability to adapt. You must have that ability to adapt and overcome. With that ability, stress doesn't last so long, and you tend to be able to come up with ideas to cope with it, or to adapt to whatever the situation is that's caused the stress. Of course, sometimes with deaths in the family or illnesses that people that are close to you, this stress is really hard. But you've still got to look in every bad situation. It doesn't matter how bad it is. If you look close enough, there's a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel. And you just got to keep going for that light, and slowly it will get brighter and brighter, and as it does, the stress gets less and less. So, and the other thing is, don't let today, that might be the most stressful day in your life, destroy tomorrow, which could be the happiest day of your life. There is always a way around problems. Just think of it like water running down a mountain in a stream, and it's smashing up against rocks and it just bounces around them even though the rock is solid. Imagine that rock is a problem and the water smashes into it. Does the momentum of the water stop? No. It hits the rock and it bounces around it, bounces over top of it, or it finds a new avenue to pass the rock. And that's how you deal with stress. Well, that's how I deal with it. Of course,